follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Lexus NX 350h, the second generation of the nimble crossover, the NX. And you can see the design change is more evolutionary than revolutionary. Straight away we are going to be opening the engine bay, and here you can see hydraulic struts. Of course, need to push it all the way up. You get insulation right there, and that is the motor. By the way, the car is on right now. But shut the engine off because it's hybrid, it's on battery power right now, and engine bay looks super duper clean. I particularly love this Lexus logo, which looks quite nice there on the engine cover. Of course, let's just shut this. So what they have done is they have made changes to the lights. Earlier the DRL was separate from the light. Here of course the DRL is with the light, and you've got 4 projectors as such. Of course the DRL looks super duper awesome. You get a headlight washer as well. Front parking sensors everywhere. This is how the indicator is. So the DRL does not shut when you turn on the indicator of the vehicle. And this being the F Sport specifically has some sportier bits on the outside as well as on the inside. You can see this lower treatment below the bumper, which looks quite nice, which is finished in sort of silver. And this is the towing hook of the vehicle. You can see the parking sensors, the front camera, and the radar is actually placed behind it. But I thought the logo will get the blue tinge because hybrid, of course. Now you can see the spindle grille gets some changes as well, and it looks quite nice. In fact, the car looks super duper awesome in person. Look at the paint shade, look at the sportiness, absolutely phenomenal. In fact, the wheels are different on the F Sport. Yeah, a little bit more sportier. Finished in black, of course. The tire size happens to be a 235/50/20. And it says F Sport here. There's beautiful chrome treatment right there. The camera is placed below, of course, and then because it has got ADAS function, it gets a lot of sensors as well. Now I'm going to show you the vehicle from the side. It looks quite sporty and nice, but I can't deny the fact that it looks very similar to the older model in overall the way the silhouette has been done. In fact, it is longer, it's wider, and it is also having a wider track both at the front as well as the rear. So it's just a bigger car, yet it maintains the small footprint. And even the way the door handles have been done is just fantastic. You know what? This doesn't come out. There's a button below. You press that and open the door. How cool is that? And this beautiful sort of a dark chrome has been done, which looks quite nice. I don't think the roof rails are functional on this car. There's an antenna right there. Shark fin, of course. Coming to the rear of the car, you can see the attention to detail. Really very nice. But Faisal Khan's fingers of truth. Not really happy with this fake stuff which is happening. In fact, you can't even see the exhaust because it's hidden right behind, right below. Obviously the exhaust is behind only, not really. The Force Gurkha has it in the center. Anyways, you can see this sort of a chrome treatment. A lot of attention has been given to the design. Now this is plastic, of course. There is where the exhaust is, and it gets an exhaust on the other side as well. So dual exhaust, of course. And there you can see the platform. Well, it is similar to the 5th generation of the RAV4. Okay, there's a helicopter going from there, which you can hear at the moment. Now it gets this continuous light treatment, this light bar in the center which connects both the lights. In fact, the lights are also pretty nice, and there you can see kind of brightish, but somehow the car's got a little dirty on small driving here and there. In fact, it obviously gets a high mounted stop lamp here, sort of a roof spoiler, rear wiper washer, of course. And then when I press this button, power tailgate, which by the way is twice as fast as before, so it takes 4 seconds to go up and down or whatever. Now the boot has increased from 475 liters on the older model to 520 liters. Oh my god, that is a lot. But you know what? They've actually removed the spare wheel. That's the reason why the boot has increased. But there's a 30 liter storage space right below. Yeah, you can store 30 liters. That's actually the parcel shelf which I just moved. That is a warning triangle. A lot of cubby holes here, which is kind of useful as well. And then obviously there has to be a hook here. That's kind of useful. Let's just slot this back into place. So yeah, I need some effort to put it back. And there's a net right there, and there happens to be a 12-volt charging socket as well. So kind of practical a boot, and obviously this splits forward 60/40. I can press this button to shut the tailgate, and you know what? It obviously gets gesture control, not gesture control, hands-free trunk. You come behind and stand, and it will automatically open it, which is obviously there in the older model as well. This is where actually the fuel goes, for which you have to press a button on the inside. And let's just open the rear door. Here you can see the door actually opens decently wide. And this red finishing is specific to the F Sport model, and the other models happen to be the variants happen to be luxury as well as exquisite. Exquisite is the base variant, of course. Door pockets are actually big enough. Space here is also improved because the wheelbase is now longer, but unfortunately under thigh support is really not that great. You can see under thigh support is kind of on the poor side. Legroom and knee room is nice. In fact, it gets a magazine holder, no scooped out seat back. AC vents are placed here, and you get USB-C charging sockets right there, along with a regular 12-volt charging socket outlet. Floor is almost flat, not complete flat, and height adjust seat belts. It gets 8 airbags. Yeah, curtain airbags, of course. There's a hook, there's a handle as well, and the seats are actually quite nice. I love the red treatment. And then you can increase or decrease the recline angle. So this is kind of upright, and this is that is upright, and this is reclined. There's a center armrest which get twin cup holders as well, and all the heads have a headrest. All the passengers get a headrest as well. In fact, it gets a light placement which is kind of on the behind side, handle to hold on to for everyone, including the driver, of course. And the seats are obviously sportier here. You can see the dashboard design looks pretty damn awesome. Quite sporty, quite nice indeed. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me get out, but lot of hard plastics here and there. Now, you can see speakers, because it's got 17 of them. Yeah, it is the top spec variant. That's why 17 speakers. Lower model has maybe 9 or something of that sort. I don't remember. Like I was telling you, 60-40 split seats. Here you can split it, and it says something here N. I don't know for what. Okay, now I'm going to recline it further. Recline angle is nice. Under thigh support could have been better. You get ISOFIX child seat mounts, of course. Let's just shut this. Okay, you know what? Even to open the door handles from the inside, it's a very nice touch, because this is button treatment, which is kind of nice. And from the rear also, you can lock or unlock the doors. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's just shut this. A little bit of effort, Faisal. Take that right now. Anyway, let's get inside, because they have made everything according to the focus on the driver. Some reference they were giving of a horse, like you're in control of a horse. That's what's the inspiration here, but I don't understand half of it, so I'm just going to skip that part. Okay, 8-way power adjust for the driver's seat as well as the co-driver's seat, and it says SRS airbag here. It should say SRS airbag here as well. Okay, this is the F Sport, so it obviously gets this chrome sort of finishing on the dead pedal as well as the brake and the accelerator pedal. This is a wire which is plugged in to actually monitor how efficient the journalists are driving. I failed in that regard. Okay, door pockets are decent size at the front. There's a cubby hole here to keep your cigarettes away from your wife. This is to open the fuel lid. This is to open the boot of the vehicle. And like I told you, it's super duper amazing to open the doors, because it's a very nice and intuitive system. You obviously get memory seats. You can save up to 3 people settings. These are controls for the power windows. These are for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. These are to lock or unlock the door, and this is for the child lock function. You can see the seats are really very nice and comfortable. In fact, it says F Sport right here, and it gets adjustable headrests as well. So in spite of the fact that these are sportier seats, they are not one-piece units. Side bolstering is really nice. I love the treatment of the interior. It's very nice and luxurious as well. Okay, now when I get inside, first things first, indicator off. It actually gets a 9.8-inch screen for this particular model, the NX 350H. However, for India, they have given us the optional bit, which happens to be a 14-inch screen, which is the biggest in the segment. Let's open the glove box, which is decent size, quite big enough. You can keep a bottle as well. And there you can see you can lock the glove box. Lot of hard plastic. Okay, this is soft material, but hard plastics lower down. That's something you would kind of expect. This is an auto dimming inside rear view mirror. There's a sunglass holder here on the top, and because it's kind of dark right now, let's do one thing. Let's open the okay, let me just press it once. Yeah, once you press it, it opens. So the sunroof of this car actually opens. It gets a panoramic roof, but the sunroof opens, which was not the case in the older model, wherein, you know what, it used to only open the sun blind, not the roof. So here they've actually made it thinner, the whole area, the glass area, I think, so that headroom is not an issue. But this big panel in between kind of ruins everything, because it's not like a one-piece unit. Everyone else does a one-piece unit, but yeah, brings in a lot of airy feeling inside this cabin. So there are a lot of things to like in this dashboard, of course. First and foremost, this opens from both the sides. Yeah, and it's actually deep enough. Okay, let me open from the other side. There you see, that's kind of convenient. Twin cup holders, which are absolutely big. There's a wireless charging pad here, and then when you put your phone on charge, you can actually slot it in, and then also use this cubby hole, which also gets a 12-volt charging socket. So that's kind of cool as well, that the wireless charger can be used, and like when you want to open this, you can access that as well. And there's a small key holder here, USB-C, that is rather Type-C, regular USB charging socket. The gear lever is actually quite different here. So here you have to push it like this and slot it. Now it's in drive. Now to get into reverse, you push it forward, and also the different way of changing gears. This is to get into pure EV mode. There's a lot of reflection right now. So yeah, can you guys see it? That is the button to get into pure EV mode of the vehicle. This is for auto hold function. This is the electric parking brake. This happens to be for some mode, I think ICE mode or something of that sort. I have no idea. This is for the traction control button, of course, and this is for the drive mode selector. You have eco, you have normal, custom, and you have sport and sport plus modes, and this is easy to operate. Now I like the way the whole design element has been done inside this car. In fact, there's a button here. This is for the parking camera. When I press this button, it does this full roundabout thingy showing me the 360-degree view. And you know what, it also learns. So when you go over some place, it's able to capture images and show you underground view of the car. And then obviously multiple views as well, and this whole spinning thing which you also see in the new Baleno. So I think both the Japanese car makers are sourcing stuff from the same place. Obviously Toyota and Suzuki are kind of getting married of sorts. Anyways, this takes some time, but yeah, that is the view of the vehicle. In fact, let me just shut the car. As soon as I shut the car, you can see the seat actually goes behind so that I can easily get out of the vehicle. And when I turn on the car, there you see the seat actually comes ahead. So that's a nice touch. Steering wheel gets adjustment both for reach as well as rake, and obviously everything happens to be electric. Let's turn on the car. When I turn on the car, you can see it does this nice graphic thingy in the center. Okay, and this graphic thing is also coming there on the heads-up display, which is kind of nice. Okay, the heads-up display is actually very nice in this car. This is the map, which is amazing as well, and then you can get into the audio system. Let me play an audio right away. Audio quality is actually quite nice. This is a 17 speaker Mark Levinson audio system. Fantastic. I love the treatment which is being done almost everywhere. Okay, this is for the phone system. I mean, to get into the phone part of things. This is for the car. Now there is in driving assist, which shows you all the features of this car. It has got a lot of ADAS function, lane departure, parking assist sensor, blind spot monitor, rear crossing traffic alert, rear camera detection and all that stuff. But we are going to get into this home screen sort of a thing, and here you can obviously decide how you want the heads up display to be. Okay, almost whatever I showed you before is also seen here, which is kind of nice. Now you get seat ventilation function. Yeah, you have got 3 settings for the same. In fact, you also get heating for the driver's steering wheel. The steering wheel is only with the driver vice versa. But yeah, that's kind of useless a feature. We don't really need it in India, at least not in such a climate in which I'm sitting right now and sweating like a crazy person. Now the thing is, you can configure a lot of things. In fact, here, vehicle customize. Okay, there's something known as illumination. There are actually 14 pre-fed colors which change the mood inside the car, including something known as rainforest and waterfall. But we're getting into custom right now, because once you get into custom and press OK, click this button, there are 64 freaking colors to play with. That's a lot of colors for the ambient light system. And then you know it also gets tire pressure monitor, a slew of system which you would expect from a car of this price. This is the button to turn on the vehicle, and it has actually turned on the ventilation for the co-driver. I don't know why it did that. Anyways, I love the way the air conditioning system has been done. So we're going to get into climate right now. Okay, everything is a little different and new here for sure, but I'll just turn on the air conditioning, and then I love the way this control is super duper awesome, reassuring as well with the feedback. We just turn off the air conditioning for a moment. This is for the volume control. This is for the defogger function. Yeah, these both buttons are for the defogger, hazard light, and then you can, turn off the AC vents if you so wish. This is a piano black finishing, which is actually a fingerprint magnet as well. Anyways, the instrument cluster is also a very nice unit. It changes its color depending on the drive mode. So right now, I think we are in maybe normal mode. Let me get into eco mode. That is the eco mode. And this is the sport mode. Yeah. And this is the sport plus mode. So there you can see the tachometer completely changes. Kind of nice. There's a G-force meter in the center. Now these are touch sensitive ones. Yeah, you just need to touch them like this, and you can see there I'm actually touching them, and then a lot of changes are happening right there. In fact, this is also very much touch sensitive. So when I touch this, it tells me exactly what mode I am in. So that's kind of nice as well. Yeah. It's a very amazing system. Lexus has done a fantastic job with the steering mounted controls, of course. Now this is a F Sport specific steering wheel, so it gets F Sport written here. The horn is not that great as such, and then you get this red stitching as well. Piano black everywhere. This is the button actually if you want to trip the meter and all. So they've placed buttons almost everywhere inside this car, like almost in every place. And I'm going to just shut the light for a moment. Okay, these are the controls for the lights as well as the indicators. This is the control for the wipers, and you can see wipers offer a lot of spray as well. Wipers are quite nice inside. Here you obviously get a mirror along with a light. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror along with a light, and then that was a delayed wiper swipe. And then the engine has turned on of the car. You can hear it. It is super silent when it's in hybrid mode, rather when it's being powered by the electric motor. That's a level of silence. And these are the steering mounted paddles as well. The car feels built around the driver because this is also tilted towards the driver, and of course very comfortable, loaded with a lot of features. But how is it to drive? Let's start driving right away. All right, we're all set to go, which means getting into energy flow. We're going to turn off the air conditioning completely. Yeah, off. Oh my god, the silence. Traction control button I have to find, but it is somewhere here. We get into drive mode, we get into sport mode as well, and this thing has to come into sport plus. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard light off, revving the motor, rev still almost 2,500 RPM, and off we go. absolutely linear performance. There's good amount of grunt, and around the corners you can see the balance is actually quite nice. It's a surprisingly very fun car to drive with good amount of grip. Okay, there is the understeer. I was just praising you an understeer. So steering offers good amount of feel and feedback for sure, which is kind of surprising. Lexus has done an absolutely phenomenal job in the way this car is actually able to drive through the corners. It's very eager. The steering is actually quite nice in terms of feel and feedback as well, and the engine is obviously quite powerful as well. I don't know if the air conditioning is off. It's saying off, but some air I can feel from somewhere or the other, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it takes 7.7 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. The older NX 300H used to take approximately 9.2 seconds, and brakes are nice and sure-footed as well. Here we are, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Now this is of course an eCVT gearbox. That's the reason why you can feel that, what do I call that thing? Yeah, the rubber band effect in plenty. But around the corners, the body roll is very nice indeed. Only thing is everything behind is flying. I think my camera is flying as well, but doesn't matter. Body roll is very well contained, and the car is quite eager around the corners. It's actually a very fun car to drive. It doesn't have any changes in terms of mechanicals when compared to the regular NX 350H. This one being the F Sport does not have sportier bits, other than the fact that it gets adaptive dampers, which obviously plays a crucial role in improving the handling of this vehicle. It doesn't have air suspension, it's got adaptive dampers, okay? So you can call it adaptive suspension as well. Here we are going to take a left, and overall I would say the ride quality is also quite nice here as such. So yeah, very sure-footed a car in terms of grip levels, because this is obviously all-wheel drive. Yes, that's right, this is an all-wheel drive car, and that's the reason why there's so much grip on offer. So there's a smaller electric motor at the rear, there's a bigger one at the front, and the biggest massive change here happens to be the fact that the whole design is new. Okay, I accept that, but this is the 350H. So globally, I think they also have lower variants, some without hybrid as well, and there's a bigger version also in terms of the battery, which is the 450H. The 450H is actually a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, PHEV, and obviously has a bigger battery, resulting in more performance. The engine is the same 2.5 litre 4-cylinder unit, which we see in a lot of Lexus cars like the ES 300H. I was saying a lot of Lexus cars, I also meant the Toyota Camry. So this engine actually produces 190 horsepower and I think around 239 Newton meters of torque. And then there is the electric motor as well, and there are two motors. The rear one is obviously smaller in terms of size. So the electric motor is actually able to improve the performance quite a bit, dramatically if I may. The result is that this car has a lot of grunt, it feels very eager, and then you come on these bad roads, you realize ride quality is not the best as such, because yes, it is on the stiffer side and the suspension is not the most silent in that regard, but then it's easy to toggle because the steering is light enough at low speeds, weighs up at high speeds, and then obviously you can manually take control of the gearbox. Rather, this is a CVT, eCVT, so that's no point of doing it. Now the combined output happens to be 240 horsepower because obviously the electric motor also adds to the grunt of this car, but it results in better mileage. So efficiency wise, this is a great car. It's fantastic in terms of fuel efficiency because of the hybrid motor, which by the way you can drive in pure EV mode till a speed of 125 kilometers per hour. That's a lot as such. Now, obviously, since I've been drinking the battery right, left and center, we cannot get into EV mode at the moment, but I'll still try, and it's going to say no, it's not. Oh, it is right now. So we are in EV mode. Now listen to the level of silence. The suspension will make some amount of noise, but otherwise it's very silent and refined in EV mode, and then you can just glide through, not really because of the bumps which can be felt inside. High speed stability is actually quite nice. It's very nice indeed. And you know what? They have ditched the nickel hydride battery in lieu of a lithium-ion unit for this car. Actually, I think globally for the previous generation model, in some markets they were offering lithium-ion battery. I don't know, maybe for the ES, so for sure I know, because this ES 300H, which is still sold in India, uses a nickel hydride battery, and globally they offer a lithium-ion one, which is lighter, more powerful, better in every regard. Now, lithium-ion battery obviously brings a lot more to the table. Like I was telling you, the battery is just bigger in the 450H, which also uses the same 2.5 litre engine, and this 2.5 litre engine has been doing duty since donkey's years now. Very refined unit, very sweet, and you don't even realize when the switch happens between ICE and EV electric. So the hybrid unit is just fantastic in almost every possible way. I love how Lexus makes the whole drive so comfortable and so smooth, yet this car has the sporty intention. Now there are certain things I forgot to tell you while doing the walk around. First and foremost, the rear seats have electric adjust in the luxury variant, not in this F Sport. They've removed that feature, and there are some features which are there in the F Sport which are not there in the luxury variant, and vice versa. The other thing is it gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, but not wireless. That's kind of surprising. And then there are a slew of ADAS functions in this car. So it has got forward collision warning, it has got adaptive cruise control, it has got blind spot monitor as well. Now we are not going to get a blind spot issue right now, so that won't blink at the moment, but yes, you have got a blind spot monitor as well, reverse crossing traffic alert, and all these things. But shocking, it does not get automatic emergency braking. Lexus is like, that system is not ready, or they have not been able to test it enough and all that stuff. Cars like the Mahindra XUV 700 and the MG Aster, which cost like 1/3 or 1/4 of this car, actually come with that particular feature, which brings me to the price of this car. So there are three variants. The Exquisite starts at around 77.5 lakh-ish, something of that sort. Then there's the luxury, which is 82.68 lakhs, and this is the F Sport, which is 85.16 lakhs. Now all the prices are on road Mumbai. Yeah, the prices are on the higher side because this car competes with the BMW X3 and the Mercedes GLC, and I think the Audi Q5 as well, but the prices are higher simply because this is a CBU. This is not locally assembled in India. The only Lexus car which is locally assembled in India happens to be the ES300H at Toyota's manufacturing facility, where I think they have a separate line for the ES model, of course. But this is something which Lexus needs to do. They really need to go to do local assembly. At this price, this car might feel a little unique and exclusive, and yes, being a Lexus from Toyota is going to be more reliable and easy to upkeep as well. But still, you know, the price is on the higher side. They need to work on the pricing, and that can only happen when they go CKD. CBU is not going to cut it. You can see the movement is there because that stiffness is something you cannot avoid, and then over bad bumps it thuds through, because a 50 profile tire on this car not really needed. You need slightly higher profile tires as well. 20 inches again not needed. Maybe 19 inches would get the job done, but then right now everything is so silent. EV mode for the win. You can't hear anything at all. In fact, I'm surprisingly driving in Sport Plus in EV mode. It's so stupid of me. Let's get into Eco mode. Now in Eco mode, you can feel that things are a little bit more efficient probably, because in EV mode now it has this, like, it's even more eager to get into pure EV mode, in Eco mode that is. Yeah. In fact, I'm in EV mode. There's so many modes. There's an EV mode, there's an Eco mode, and you can customize all this also as per your liking. So, you know, when you get into sport mode, obviously the engine is more eager, the hybrid system is going for a nap, and the steering also feels slightly better as well. Braking performance is nice, but this bad patch of road is ruining everything. So we're just going to up the speed a bit, and then you can hear a lot more inside the cabin, of course. Oh, okay, I'm feeling a little jittery, but never mind. Such a nice and easy practical car, this Lexus. I really like it. I really like the new NX. I think Lexus has done a fantastic job in a lot more ways than one. What am I even talking? I think fuel tank capacity must be around 60 liters. The weight of this car must be around 1800 kgs or something of that sort. Obviously, because of the battery, the weight is going to increase. That's something normal. And then you know how the hybrid system works. So basically, the engine powers the wheels, and then the battery also powers the wheels, but both of them can power together. But how does it charge? Under braking, obviously the battery charges, and then when the battery is low, the engine sort of act like a generator to charge the battery as well. And this being an all-wheel drive system can decidedly charge channel power as per its liking. Here we're going to make a quick overtake, honey, and off we go. Hey, listen to this. Sorry about that. Anyway, so you know what? Usually it's front wheel drive and it only kicks the rear axle when it needs that traction, which is usually not the case. And you know what, it can channel up to 100% power to the front wheels or up to 80% power to the rear wheels, and in that situation 20% power is going to come to the front wheels. So 100-0 or maybe 20-80, something of that sort. Again, I'm a little weird with these numbers. I'm not too sure about it because I'm getting a little confused. These bumps are really rattling me at the moment. Not the best road for a test drive for sure, considering this car doesn't really, okay, you can feel that it thuds through like that. Never mind, we are still going to keep going. Cabin is actually quite silent as well, and we are going to do one thing. We're just going to use the wipers right away. The wipers happen to be on the right side, not on the left. Faisal, what are you doing? Yeah, cleans the windscreen fantastically well. Okay, I have to admit the driver's seat is extremely comfortable. These paddle shifters are absolutely useless. They do nothing at all. But if you're looking for efficiency, this car does it. So you don't really miss a diesel engine because this hybrid motor does such a good job in ensuring that fuel efficiency is absolutely fantastic as well. Okay. You know, now this engine works on the Atkinson cycle. Same engine also powers the Toyota Camry, the Lexus ES300H, the older Lexus NX, which was the 300. This is the 350, and then the 450H also uses the same engine. So one engine almost everywhere. But then again, depending on the size of the battery, the performance really gets altered. 7.7 seconds is actually decently quick, but somehow it doesn't feel that quick because you know what, when you go full throttle, it reaches 1 RPM and it stays there, and then it's like the rubber band effect kicks in plenty as well. So here we go. Actually, the mid-range is also nice. So drivability is very good because it has got good grunt lower down, because obviously electric motor brings all the torque from 0 RPM, and then you know what, mid-range is also sweet. Top end man, that rubber band effect really ruins it, but Lexus is like, we have reduced the rubber band effect to quite an extent, and I completely believe them. Rubber band effect is lesser than before, but still it is undeniably there as well. So here we go. Yeah, some judder. Now if you're going to push this car hard around corners, it's going to have understeer. It doesn't have that oversteering nature at all. Bilkul bhi nahi hai. It just has that understeer, which when it kicks in now, well, a little bit of washout happens, but you're not going to reach that limit because this car is kind of on the heavier side. Doesn't really feel its weight, but it is heavy without a doubt. Now you can hear a little bit of the sportier sound. Now we should get into sport plus. Okay, we're going to be in sport mode. It says Sport S, which is F Sport thing. So it says Sport S instead of just Sport. I think in luxury and exquisite trims it says Sport or Sport Plus, not Sport S or Sport S Plus. So yeah, a lot of attention to detail in this car. In fact, you know what, when you drive the car for long and you come out, you have this static electricity giving you a sort of a shock. They have put some technology inside this car that thing does not happen. It even contains that. That is the level of attention to detail they have really gone for in this car, which is absolutely stunning to say the least. Just I hope the suspension was slightly better. They've gone for a sporty treatment, which is good if you like driving, but then most people who enjoy driving will probably opt for the BMW X3 and not for this Lexus NX. You know, NX stands for nimble crossover, and it has that nimbleness. It's actually a very fun car to drive as well, and I think there's a sort of a jam there, or it was maybe a Maruti Suzuki meetup with Wagoner and bigger Wagoner both standing there. So I love the way the tachometer responds so immediately, and then nice mid-range. By the way, whatever the electric motor makes and whatever the engine makes now, combined together, you can't say that the power and torque is that much because they make it at separate RPM. So together, never the peak power is going to be the addition of the electric motor output as well as the ICE output. So that's something you need to take care of and also consider. Now, I'm just going to come to a slight halt here. We are going to get into reverse gear, and then you can see the camera. Okay, it's obviously got adaptive guidelines, and I like the way this thing shift the modes as well. We get into sport mode, and off we go. Oh, this car doesn't have launch control. That would be a real nice addition as well. Okay, we are stuck. Anyways, hey Lexus.
What can I do for you?
I'm feeling hungry.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding you.
These are the voice commands. They don't work that well. She can't help with anything. And of course, the biggest problem is there's no connected car tech either. Look at the aggression with which the Innova driver is telling these cows and bulls to move out of the way. Unfortunately, these cows and bulls do not have ADAS functions. So I don't even bother to go and hound them because they're going to take their own sweet time. I mean, no hurry, but they are in a hurry for sure because they're like, jaldi, 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 chalo. So let's try and get out of here. This dude's lane departure warning is not working. He's coming into this lane. By the way, this car gets lane departure warning as well, and it is able to put you back into a lane. It's also able to tell you that if you're leaving a lane, and it's got adaptive cruise control. You know how adaptive cruise control works. You set a speed, and then the car will drive at a certain speed, and then if something comes ahead, it will be able to automatically brake, and then obviously when the obstacle moves, it will be automatically be able to get you back to that speed again, which is something which you've seen in a lot of cars as well. So that's something part of the course. In fact, for lane departure warning, it's able to follow the car ahead in case this car is not able to read the road signs. So there are no road signs or lane markings. So it's able to also follow a car. So that's again quite a nice thing. I don't know why the roads are super duper broken, but yeah, you can feel the suspension quite a bit. They have gone for a sporty setting for reasons best known to them. You do feel a slight difference between the way the damping has been done. The dampers become soft and stiff depending on the drive mode, of course, but not really make it as comfortable as you would expect. And there it says accelerator and brake pedals press simultaneously. I thought that's launch control, and off we go. Some amount of braking noise coming from the front left wheel. So guys, this is my vlog of the Lexus NX 350h. I think a fantastic update for this nimble crossover, aka the NX. But yes, slight things I expected more. By the way, the exquisite range starts at around 77 point some lakhs. Okay, I don't really remember the pricing because I don't think anyone's going to buy the exquisite. Either you buy the luxury or the F Sport. Although the F Sport could be slightly more sportier, although variable dampers, adaptive dampers, and whatever variable suspension is a much welcome here. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. There's this hopping effect which happens, okay, over bad bumps, so the car kind of hops as such. So not the most glued as such, but still a very nice, fun car to drive nonetheless, and efficient as well. So you're going to buy this car, have fun, and save the environment as well. And this is a car Greta Thunberg would definitely love. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.